Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Holly Prendeville. I'm the coordinator for the USDA Northwest Climate Hub. And today's workshop, we're looking forward to learning a lot from you, sharing information about drought, and discussing ways we can adapt to drought conditions for agriculture. This workshop was co-organized with Joe. You ready?
Yeah. I'll play there all day.
Oh.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jody Anderson. Welcome. I'm employee with UAF, the director located here at the farm. Those of you who aren't aware, this is UAF territory, even though we're really close to Anchorage and less than a mile and a half from a UAA facility. We are part of the land grant. We are the land grant. And so we're really excited about this workshop. I've worked with Holly for a few years. Holly's with the Northwest Climate Hub. And Holly asked me a really, really bad question one day. And it was, what do you guys need? 3 hours later, and those of you who know me know that I have a list that I carry in my pocket all the time. And I felt like I was like a kid sitting on Santa's lap, and I had all my wish lists. And it was amazing because after I finished that conversation with Holly, I was like, well, I'm never hear from Holly again. And Holly keeps she's amazing because she's like, hey, I've got this opportunity for you guys. Would this work for you? And I'm like, funding? Yes, thank you. And answering questions? Yes, absolutely. And so this project is a collaboration with, really, we're just lucky enough to receive it. We're on the receiving end of a relationship. And so the Northwest Climate Hub worked with the National Drought Mitigation Center, and our folks are here from Lincoln, Nebraska. That's so weird, but we're glad to have them here. Welcome to a beautiful morning. And they were in Delta on Monday. We had this exact workshop in Delta. Obviously, it'll be a different spin because we're different than Delta is, just slightly. We've got people online from all over the state. I see Kenai online. I see Fairbanks online and around. So the point of this workshop was, one, to give ourselves an opportunity to do Zoom, but also to connect with local producers as well here in the Valley. And I can't tell you enough how excited I am about this, because through this learning process, we have figured out that we didn't even know what we didn't know about drought. And even though we know drought, because our plants tell us, our animals tell us about drought, we've had no idea about what this really means in the big picture in Alaska for agriculture. And so I'm so excited that you guys are here today. You're going to hear really amazing things. You're going to hear things that's like, wait, why don't we do it that way? That's good. I want you guys to ask those questions, and this is your opportunity to do so. We're starting at the base, and we're moving ourselves forward. I didn't want this to be, climatology 404 and, or 604 class. This is agricultural focused drought conversations all day today. That's what we're talking about. And yes, we have to look at climate as a larger picture. Yes, we have to look at weather specifically and all of those things. But the big picture is that we're looking specifically through the framework of agriculture. And that's why this is a very important workshop. And I can't tell you how excited. Thank you so much, Holly. Our folks, our visitors from Nebraska, thank you guys for coming up and hanging out with us. And teaching us and helping us figure out what questions we should be asking. And I think that that's where we're at right now. Holly, my initial thing with Holly is like, whatever you want, because we don't know anything, like help us. And that's what we're here for. So I'm so excited to have y'all here today. Those of you online, thank you so much for joining us. Actually, it's more like, there you are. Hi, guys. Thank you. I set it up. I'm like, I don't know where they are. Thank you so much. We do have people monitoring our online chat. So at times, if you have questions, if you can't hear, if you can't see, please reach out. I know it's always difficult to be not in the room when there is a room. So please make yourselves present. I know many of you aren't shy humans. Please make sure to interact. That's how we're going to learn the most. That's the best part, is the interactive part, the component where we're sharing. I'm really, really excited. I wish I had time to sit in here all day and nerd out with all of you. And I don't. So I'll be in and out throughout the day. But please know that this is a huge leap forward for us. And I'm so excited that we're able to offer this at this time. And so without any more dragging on, Holly, thank you so much.
Thank you. Tanya,
Claire, Grace, Deb. There's Deb. Thank you so much for coming up this beautiful time of year. You've got a little bit of your ticket like that you can be a summer visitor now, so it's okay. We'll let you come up in the summer. But we're really excited to have everyone. Also, lunch will be provided by Turkey Red today. You know that Alex focuses on local, so please just keep in mind that support Alex as we move forward, and with her helping us as well. So any more things, please reach out to me after this is over if you guys need anything. If you have follow-up, you'll get contact information. These are the experts. They know all the things. Super lucky to have Brian with us today. Brian, thank you so much for coming. You'll hear amazing things from him and probably see a moose.
The pressure's on me.
Right. Come on, Brian. But anyway, the really great things. I'm so stoked. Knowing the agenda, knowing what's going to happen today, you guys are going to walk out of here with full brains and gray matter coming out of your ears. I'm stoked. So thank you all for coming. Thank you online. Thank you for your time. And also, most importantly, thank you for helping us be a more secure food system in Alaska. And so thank you very much.
Thank you,
You guys enjoy. Work hard.
As Jody mentioned, like, we want to learn a lot from you as well, because I've heard like, well, I don't know that we have drought in Alaska. And I can understand that with the amount of snow, rivers, muskegs, permafrost thawing. There's a lot of wet areas. And so like drought, everybody immediately thinks it's the desert. And you'll hear from others like, what does drought look like? What does that mean? And so it'll be great to hear from you. Like, when there's been dry conditions, what has that done to your operation? What have you seen? What impacts have you seen? That will be helpful for us to understand that. And then help with the drought monitor reporting, which then some of that winds up affecting USDA programs. So we'll hear from Farm Service Agency later today about that. But to kick our conversation off, I'm going to pass it over to the National Drought Mitigation Center, who's going to start a conversation about drought.
Oh, yes. Is it 8:30? Yeah, so Deb's going to give us a brief introduction to the National Drought Mitigation Center. Okay, I got to be in front of
square.
So
Yeah,
we thought we would do a real short introduction to the Drought Center, because we know it's kind of like, oh, these people dropped in. Who are they? We thought that might be a good place to start.
Do I use this to Oh, this is rough because I like to block and talk.
Here, I'll do it.
Even though I'm really bad at blocking and
I'll do it. So Deb's going to do that, and then I'll hop back in.
I'm Deborah Bathke with the National Drought Mitigation Center. I know, but then I'm here.
You didn't tell the next slide.
And we also have our two graduate students in the back. So Grace and Kaylee, they'll be leading us through a really fun drought game later this afternoon. So we're glad that they got to come. So this was not our trip. We didn't drive, we flew here, but our longest flight delay was in Lincoln, getting out of Lincoln. So we probably could have driven here in the amount of time that we got delayed, because Lincoln has the old crappy planes, and so we had to wait till the very last plane of the day came in, and then they could get us out. Next slide.
We're sharing the screen, and then we'll get it.
Oh.
Then we'll get it done.
Okay, good. Next slide. So why the National Drought Mitigation Center? Why do we have these folks coming up from Nebraska? We are involved in almost all things drought. We do everything from the science and the research to translating information to helping with policy and implementing things, and Tanya does some evaluation of things. I forgot to mention that I am a climatologist by training. I actually did my graduate work in ice core paleoclimatology in the Arctic. And then I went to New Mexico and started working on drought. So that's where I've been since. And I am the education and outreach coordinator. So that translation part is my piece. We have different focus areas, is that what we're calling them now? Coordination areas within our center. The first is the monitoring area. We co-develop and develop lots of different products for monitoring climate and drought. Probably our most visible product is the U.S. Drought Monitor. How many people have seen the U.S. Drought Monitor? Just a few. Normally, I forgot to do this when I bought candy this morning. I have candy and I say, who knows what their drought status is? Candy. Another tool that we just worked on with Holly is called OWLS, the overview. Did I get that name right? Overview of weather, water, and land sites. You can't get data from that, but you can look to see where all of the different climate and hydrological data monitoring sites are located to help us identify where the gaps are, where we need more information. We have a drought impacts multi-tool kit where you can go and report drought conditions, what you're seeing, what you're experiencing. That will become a little more important in my talk later today. And we also work to develop a NASA GRACE product, and I always destroy the acronym, but basically it monitors from a satellite soil moisture and shallow groundwater. Next slide. And the next team that we have is a planning team, and we work on helping develop either individual drought plans or standalone drought plans to drought components of different types of plans, whether it's a climate action plan or a land management plan or a multi-hazard mitigation plan. And we work everywhere from, this is one of Tanya's babies, managing drought risk on the branch. That's well, it's more than just a guide now. You have case studies and all sorts of information for producers. And I'm not going to say anything on that. Nope. Okay. Right now. To helping communities, to helping states develop plans, to working on regional drought plans. One of the ones that hopefully I'll have Kaylee and Grace with me is in the southeast part of the U.S. that we're going to be working with here in another couple of months. And we also do a lot of international activities and travel. Usually I go to the places that nobody else wants to go. So I end up either in, I don't know, I wouldn't say Alaska because it's really cold here, but this is a highlight. Like the Middle East is where I get to go. You can see that's cool. So next slide. So planning information. I found out, this is where I actually find out this slide is wrong, or meetings like this. We have state level and regional, we have a collection of drought plans. Alaska does not have one, but we do have a page that has different contacts for drought on it. I found out that the state climatologist was wrong. Rick was from University of Alaska Fairbanks, was on the call on Zoom and was like, no, that's not right. Pulling it out. So I did manage to get that changed. Next slide. Social science area. That's Tanya's area. She's the social science coordinator. She does lots of things related to social science, decision calendars for different types of crops and specialty crops, different types of management operations. She and I have a project together working with New Mexico Pueblos for Indigenous Ag, for climate smart agriculture. Also, I don't know, anything else you want to say about social science?
Generally on the management side, just one of the things the NDFC is really interested in is, what do we do? You know, what can people actually do? What can we do about drought? What can we do before, during, after drought? How does all of the climate information and data help us make decisions before, during, and after drought? How can we close some gaps between information and actual people making decisions? So
Usually
it's fun work.
funding agencies have this approach where they develop all of this information and then the project ends. And it's just kind of hit or miss whether people use it. So time is on the side of helping people use it. I guess we both are. Next slide is, this is my area, education, outreach, and engagement. We do lots of different things. We have online tutorials for various products. We have educational guides for planning and different products. We do some scenario-based exercises like the one that we, as in Grace and Kaylee, will be leading you through this afternoon. We have kids activities, different games for kids to play. We do ag expos and fairs and do outreach events that way, talks, webinars, especially through COVID. We have what are called learning networks that are kind of formalized networks where we meet every year and talk about, well, we quarterly.
Bringing people together to learn from each other.
Yes.
What's working well.
And I'm the education coordinator and I can't talk.
There's more coffee again.
I need more coffee, always more coffee. Next slide. And we have a communications team and they do our website, drought.unl.edu. They put out quarterly newsletters. They make their brochures and the flyers and things that you have in your folder, the fact sheets, and they do our social media presence. And I think that's it. That's all I have. So that's